By the way, you noticed, right, that Sergei Lavrov was once again absent at the meeting with Tokayev. So what, have they finally sidelined and thrown out Sergei Viktorovich? Has Lavrov disappeared? Where has the dark horse of Russian diplomacy gone? It seems Lavrov is in serious trouble. After the failed meeting between Putin and Trump, the head of the Russian foreign ministry, it seems, has fallen out of favor. Yes, of course, out of favor. And now Lavrov is practically begging just for Trump and Putin to meet. Even Peskov has joined in this lament now. They're already whining in unison over there. The Kremlin is begging Washington for mercy. Following Lavrov, Peskov also rushed to beg the US to return to negotiations. In an interview with CNN, Putin's aide at one point couldn't hold back and revealed everything.
And we're losing time, losing money, losing profit. And
here's what's telling. At the White House, this lamentation wasn't particularly appreciated. Well, in short, they sent them packing. And Lavrov was sent packing in Washington too. And Peskov and all Russians as well. In response to Putin's representatives' pleas to resume negotiations, Secretary of State Marco Rubio made it clear that Russia needs to change its tone and curb its ambitions. Then Lavrov actually understands that he could really end up behind bars. Literally. Well, that's Russia for you. And right away, he started having his usual autumn flare-up. There's no other way to put it.
Putin also considers Zelensky a Nazi. Well, yeah. And where's the evidence to the contrary? When Zelensky regularly appears on TV, handing out awards to Azov fighters and other Nazi battalions with patches of Nazi Germany on their sleeves. So how else are we supposed to treat this person? Oh.
Call the orderlies. The Kremlin court jester, well, I mean the fool, has really lost it now. And he's even in the West now. He's becoming persona non grata in Italy.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov gave an interview to the Italian newspaper Corriere della Sera. However, after preparing the material, the editorial board decided not to publish it.
It's about time. How much longer do we have to listen to these war criminals?
There is talk in Moscow about the resignation of Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. He ignored a nuclear meeting with Putin, which sparked a wave of panic and rumors in the Russian capital. It was so intense that the Kremlin had to publicly comment on the situation, according to CNN. Thus, on October 7th, the press secretary of dictator Vladimir Putin, Dmitry Peskov, assured journalists that Lavrov, of course, continues to serve as foreign minister and called reports of his possible resignation false.
there is not a single grain of truth in these reports.
The initial cause of the rumors about Lavrov's resignation was a Financial Times publication stating that the stance of Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during his brief meeting and last phone conversation with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was so uncompromising and unyielding that it surprised Washington and led to the cancellation of the summit between Trump and Putin, and the absence of the chief diplomat at the Security Council meeting when Putin was discussing the prospect of resuming full-scale nuclear tests only added fuel to the fire. The spokesperson for the Russian Foreign Ministry, Maria Zakharova, confirmed Lavrov's absence from the meeting with Putin, but assured that this happens, and also began to deny rumors about Lavrov's resignation.
Well, you knew what to ask about, of course. That's a fantastic story. Yes.
According to propaganda media, Lavrov was absent by prior agreement, but this very fact drew the attention of observers since he became the only permanent member of the council to miss the meeting. Suspicions grew after it became known that Lavrov would not head the Russian delegation at the G20 summit in Johannesburg. Analysts immediately began talking about possible disagreements between Lavrov and the Kremlin. But official Moscow insists that everything is under control.